This episode has always felt like part 2 of the last episode, because it kind of is. Nothing in this episode makes sense if you don't watch it right after the last one. That's been the case for a lot of episodes, but this one is a prime example of that. Like, there's no setup to this episode's conflict. The setup happened last episode. It makes me wonder how much trouble they had playing reruns of the show on Cartoon Network. Season 1 would have been mostly fine, but the rest of the show would make no fucking sense out of order.
How much longer till we can use the drill?
Well, with the new coordinates we got from the moon base, we should be ready to go. But we really should perform a few tests first.
I like what Pearl says here about tests, which never get done because that ticking clock was moving a lot faster than all of the characters expected. I'll say it now because I'll forget to say it 3 episodes from now. It's a miracle that the drill did its job, more or less.
Why are we in this broken down vehicle?
For being broken down, this truck seems mostly fine. Look at this interior, it's immaculate. A lot of the stuff that's usually first to go on cars like this is intact. The battery still has a charge, as we'll see later. This thing must have crapped out extremely recently.
I wanted to ask you about the diamonds.
This is some very intentional framing here. The obvious thing to look at is Peridot's hand behind her back, but the other marginally less obvious thing is the diamond emblem. Every detail in this episode feels intentional. Every shot, every word of dialogue has a reason to be where it is, which isn't always the case in other episodes.
They're objectively better than us. Every gem has their strengths and weaknesses, but not them. They're absolutely, totally, completely flawless beings.
Sounds like the propaganda machine back on Homeworld is running pretty smoothly. Anytime someone says their leader is perfect and flawless, you can tell they're in a cult and have been thoroughly brainwashed.
Yellow Diamond. The most perfect, the most reasonable, rational, efficient decider ever to exist in the universe.
Reasonable and rational are some intentional words placed here. A lot of the praise Peridot gives to Yellow Diamond are proved to be the opposite, and the flaws she accuses the crystal gems of having apply equally to her as well. We'll get to it, but this whole story can boil down to never meeting your heroes.
We might have our little truce, but I'll never forsake the gem I was made for.
That's good, because she's right behind you.
What?
I think Peridot falling for this is a bit out of character on a surface level, but she let her guard down pretty badly while talking about Yellow Diamond. She really is brainwashed. See, the lock solenoids on these older cars is one of the first things to go with just normal use. If you've ever owned and worked on a shitbox, you'd probably know what I'm talking about.
Save your strength. You're up against one of the Earth's greatest traffic technologies. The child safety lock.
I like that Steven said this in a convincing enough way that Peridot didn't even bother trying again or trying the other door. Also, that's not even how those child locks work. Those are only for the back doors. This truck only has 2 seats, so it probably wouldn't even have one to begin with.
All right, look. I have a plan. Allow me to explain. It's a communicator. Meant for the express purpose of contacting the diamonds back on Homeworld.
Was this the master plan? Was building the drill an effort to stop the cluster just a long con to get to the moon base and steal this communicator? I really don't believe stealing the communicator was a spur-of-the-moment decision. If Peridot helped with his drill knowing it probably wouldn't help, but also knowing she probably would get off the Earth before it was destroyed is not just genius, but proper evil genius. I hope that was the writer's intentions, because that would be so fucking cool. I'm no director of photography, at least not professionally, but I know a thing or two about camera movement, and I love to talk about it. This slow zoom during this scene is doing a ton of heavy lifting. As Peridot fills the frame more and more, it's giving this subtle vibe that everything is getting more intense. Which it is. Peridot's plan is basically boiling over here. I told you, everything in this episode is intentional. It's awesome.
But the diamonds are bad. They don't care about the Earth. They wanted to hollow it out, and now they want to blow it up with the cluster.
Yes, yes! That's the point!
Peridot goes through a few different phases throughout the episode. This is her fuck everything, destroy the Earth phase. Then she goes keep the Earth, but hollow it out, and eventually leave the Earth alone.
Why do I keep sticking my neck out for you?
I thought that went away 2 episodes ago. Oh, that's why the car doesn't work. These are just 2 rigid axles with no actual drive chain, and no exhaust, meaning no engine. It's just a giant Hot Wheels car with functioning locks and horn for some reason.
She took a direct line to the diamonds from the moon base? What was she thinking?
Yeah, what was she thinking? Why wait so long to use it? I guess she needed a moment alone so nobody could stop her, but why bother with that? If she told Yellow Diamond that there would be rebels still alive on Earth, there would be an armada of handships within a day. Oh wait, cluster, right, any remaining threat would be killed by that. Still, she could have used the communicator on the moon. Maybe she hadn't made up her mind. She was debating whether she would even go through with this plan. At this point, I'm just thinking out loud.
I'm taking back all my cool nicknames for her. So long, Perry and Peridot. Hello. I'm too mad. I'll think of something later.
Amethyst is great in this episode. It feels nice after not having a lot to do the whole time they were at the barn. Even in Too Far, that was more of a Peridot episode. Amethyst laughed a lot, called Peridot a nerd, and that's pretty much it. You know, the whole season was a bit like that. Amethyst didn't get much focus. Peridot stole the show this season, as well as Pearl and Garnet with the Sardonyx incident.
Why did I think I could change your mind?
Ugh, I know, right? But I guess you can't, get into other people's heads and change what they think.
I think that's the moral of this episode. You can't make someone change their mind on a topic. You can argue with them and show them different perspectives, but ultimately it's their call on what's in their head. And Peridot comes to her own conclusion by the end of this episode on her own. It's not given to her by the Crystal Gems or Yellow Diamond.
Like your mother, you seem to have a little more patience than the rest of us. But the truth is, not everyone deserves that patience.
That's a moral that I don't think this show covers quite enough, if at all. Maybe by future we get a little bit, but the show really wants to prove that every character is redeemable. That's not the case in reality. That moral is probably fitting for a different show though. Steven's too forgiving. Is Peridot's robot fucking massive in this shot, or is it just perspective? Or was it always this big?
Now I'm gonna do this right.
Rest in pieces, soapbox pickup. I only just got to know you.
Oh, okay. I've been ready for this.
First of all, this was a trailer line. Secondly, Amethyst can fly. Actually, she could always fly, but this seems like the best way to use it. She turned into different birds and dogcopter back in season 1. A helicopter is so useful though. She should have done this more often. Garnet's about to get her head chopped in half by the tail rotor. I guess Amethyst's pants got stretched out into the seat cover. Kinda neat. I wonder what happened to her gem. It's not visible in any shots while she's still a helicopter.
What's up, Parasnot?
There you go, there's a Peridot nickname. You just needed the right level of anger to channel that one. I mean, it's not the best, but it's something. Garnet does like a rapid-fire gauntlet missile move here. As soon as the first set fires, she's summoning a new set. Pearl's kind of doing the same thing by just summoning and throwing spears over and over. Whoops, there goes the power. That better not go all the way to Beach City. Hopefully they set up a redundant transmission line after political power.
You're not getting away with it! I trusted you!
Steven Hug Attack! This kid's strong. Have I mentioned that recently? Steven's always been strong, but he's gotten stronger gradually as the show goes on and he unlocks more gem powers. Not a lot of shows do this kind of fight where two characters are grabbing each other trying to get to the MacGuffin. Usually the MacGuffin is being bounced around or a character is running away with it, like earlier in this fight. I kinda like the grappling dynamic though. I bet it's really hard to animate.
She'll sort this out.
The gems hiding from the communicator is exactly like Peridot's debut. It's like a bookend to her character arc. You can play those two scenes back to back and see how much she's changed over the course of almost a season and a half. This sequence, just of the communicator activating, is visually one of the coolest things in this show. It kind of combines all of my favorite bits of the show, the sci-fi and magic visuals, the sound design, and the music. The diamonds get their own leitmotif, a traditional leitmotif too, not an instrument like the crystal gems. We even heard it a little bit back in The Answer with Blue Diamond.
This is the Yellow Diamond control room.
Is that another Pearl?
Our Pearl and Yellow Pearl share a voice actress, but each Pearl we see throughout the show sounds a bit different. All the rubies in The Answer sounded the same, but that's because they were supposed to be the same. Each Pearl has their differences, including their voices. Also, I always thought Yellow Pearl looked like a Dr. Seuss character.
Is that another Pearl?
Who is she?
Not all pearls know each other, Stephen.
Lying by omission, are we? Pearl does a lot of that, but this is one of the more blatant ones.
Pearl?
Yes, my diamond?
Why is there someone on the diamond line?
The Diamonds don't actually share a voice actress. Obviously, Blue Diamond was voiced by Estelle in The Answer, along with the other gems that we haven't seen yet, but the Diamonds are each different enough that they warrant different voices. That all being said, Yellow Diamond has my favorite voice out of all of them. Not Yellow's first appearance. I did that video on the extended theme song and I mentioned it there, but her first appearance in the show itself. She's sitting in her own moon base as well. The glass patterns and the colony controls in the background are almost the same as last episode.
My diamond. Peridot reporting in.
Peridot does the diamond salute for the first time. No, Steven doesn't do it in the intro. I see why people think that, but it's not what he's doing. You ever try to actually do this? It's hard. My wrists don't flex that way.
Which Peridot?
Facet 2F5L, cut 5XG.
I don't know what any of those numbers designate, but I do know there's a lot of Peridots out there. Also, facet and cuts are actual gemology terms. Gonna rename this series to... Wait.
This says you're behind schedule on your mission to... How is the Earth?
I get vibes throughout the whole show that Yellow has never actually been to the Earth. Yes, she spearheaded the cluster project, but she didn't put it in the ground herself. Again, it's just vibes, I can't prove that.
And where is the Jasper I assigned you? And why aren't you calling from the ship?
Jasper was assigned to Peridot in this mission. Gotcha. I've been wondering about this since Jailbreak. Jasper was probably supposed to follow Peridot's orders, but went against them when she wanted to return Rose Quartz to Homeworld. It's Jasper's fault the mission failed and the ship crashed. Peridot's fine. Jasper would be fucked if she ever got back.
The ship was destroyed.
By whom?
It was destroyed by... no one. There was an accident while we were landing.
Oh, there's the cracks showing. Even right now, she's unsure if she wants to go through with her plan. It feels like this episode and last, all of her character development got reversed, but now it's unraveling.
I'll inform your manager of your incompetence.
Yeah, who is Peridot's manager? She spent all of this time trying to contact Yellow Diamond directly, and succeeded finally, but why wasn't she trying to contact whoever this manager is? I wonder if this was given directly by Yellow Diamond and kept under wraps or something. I wonder if all the information about Earth is kept under wraps on Homeworld. That's a new conspiracy I'll get some time to talk about. I'm telling you, she looks like the Grinch.
I believe we should terminate the cluster.
Why?
The organic ecosystem creates resources unique to this world. We can't sacrifice all that potential just for one geoweapon.
Here we go. Peridot's got a reason, perfectly logical reason to stop the cluster. If it were me, I'd even sprinkle in that the fusion monsters are aggressive and uncontrollable. But Yellow Diamond wants to do this for purely emotional reasons. She wants the Earth gone. Not just off the record, but she wants it so gone that she doesn't have to think about it again. I think the cluster being a geoweapon was exclusively to destroy the Earth and nothing else. Not even Peridot was given that information.
I want my cluster, and I want that planet to die. Just make that happen.
No!
Some people think the diamonds have some sort of magical ability to command other gems, to make it impossible for them to disobey. To those people, I present Exhibit A, this whole scene.
Are you questioning my authority?
I'm questioning your objectivity, my diamond.
Oh, we're well past objectivity, Peridot. Yellow Diamond is just like all the other people who say they base all their actions on facts and logic. Emotions overrule a lot of the time. Alright, the control panel is actually way different from the last episode. It looks like she had a whole-ass recliner where she can do all her work. My dad has one of those, actually.
Your only chance to redeem yourself is to obey this simple order. You are to leave the cluster to grow. It will tear apart the Earth, and I will take immense satisfaction in erasing that hideous rock off of our star maps. Is that clear?
You have no fucking clue how many times I've replayed this scene. This is one of my favorite scenes in the whole show, and my absolute favorite scene this season. Talk about intentional writing. There isn't a single word out of place. And her voice actress fucking kills it. I could seriously gush about this scene for hours, and I probably will whenever I do the discussion stream on this episode. It's so perfectly written and acted. Of course, what immediately takes me out of it is the animation error of Yellow's eyes changing colors between shots. She's colored like how she looks through the communicator when she's not supposed to be, and vice versa.
I won't do it! I can tell you with certainty that there are things on this planet worth protecting!
What do you know about the Earth?
Apparently more than you! You
And that's the cherry on top. A perfect use of Peridot's signature weapon. Needless to say, I like Yellow's reaction, but I also love the Crystal Gem's reactions.
Yellow D got torn down by the Peridot.
That's 2 nicknames in one. Neither of them come back, unfortunately. Maybe fortunately, I think Yellow D could get misinterpreted. This is a cool looking explosion. I'm a sucker for cool looking explosions.
Do you know what this means?
I'm a traitor to my homeworld.
You're a crystal gem!
Whether you like it or not.
What a perfect ending to a perfect episode. Seriously, I don't think I have anything negative to say about this one. If this episode and last episode were combined into one big 22-minute episode, it would be my favorite in the whole show, hands down. On its own though, this one is a contender for my favorite. I can't name my absolute favorite because there's a lot to pick from. Maybe I'll find that out while I'm making Gemology. What is my favorite, however, is Peridot's character development. Peridot absolutely gets the best character arc in the whole show. While it doesn't reach the same quality as something like Zuko from Avatar, it hits all the right beats. Peridot starts out completely ignorant of the crystal gems, then as they keep interrupting her mission, she grows to hate them. But she's forced to cooperate, at which point she starts to learn that they're real people. But, like I said earlier, she has always had this plan to contact Homeworld and get off Earth. That never went away, but she got carried away with enjoying her time here. She admitted it herself. As soon as she got a window of opportunity to put that plan back into motion, it looked like all of her development she went through just got undone, almost like an addict relapsing. And then, of course, we get her conversation with Yellow Diamond. At the moment of truth, Peridot finds out that all of the things wrong with the crystal gems are right there in Yellow Diamond as well. The difference being that she wasn't willing to listen or reason with Peridot. All of the crystal gems have their reasons for being on Earth, for being a crystal gem. And now Peridot is here because she's finally disillusioned by this gem she once idolized. She spent all of this time and effort to contact Yellow Diamond and she got absolutely nothing she expected or wanted out of it. It blew up in her face, almost literally. This kind of felt like the season finale, but we still have one more. If you want to see new videos from me a week before they premiere on YouTube, you can subscribe to my Patreon for just a couple bucks. The link is in the description as always. Biggest shoutouts to my Grandmaster patron, Scala LD, Grandmaster of Social Deception. I really hope that's not how they convinced me to put their name here. And to my Master patrons, Anderson Hope, Master of Setting the Thermostat so everyone is comfortable, and Geeky Game Guru, Master of always wagering a better deal at garage sales and pawn shops. And shoutouts to my journeyman patrons, Alicia, Henri Wickers, AriCat, Bippy121, Boomblorp, Bright Galaxy, Cool Waffle, Fiorlin, Fox Certified, GPW, Glingle123, Horsey Jumper, Castrol, Loga, Max Buchek, Netabag, Pachoo, Raphael Williams, Roberty, Sam Bishop, Sandcastle Cat, Silly Alien Lady, The Cloaked Goat, The One True Fusion, The Iron Hippo, Wingo Dingo, Yotawo, and ZT Illusion. Next episode is log date 6769420.